Thursday, I've been told, is the schedule for that mill and pave. And what's going to happen is they're going to come out twice as far as what they initially did to end up catching grades to get that water to drain out of there and get rid of that lip that's at the concrete pad, which they only made worse. And I had that conversation too, so.
So they're going to take care of that Thursday?
Thursday.
Okay. Kyle, could you just let Casey know if they'll be doing some work with Thursday? I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. I think that's it, Mark.
Okay.
You can sit down. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so now, golf course reports. Staff reports. John?
All right.
Oh, wait, yes. Are you first?
Are we on number 4? Are we skipping that?
4.
I think we had to. Yes.
We have to.
4 and 5.
4 and 5 we're skipping because we accepted Phil's resignation and we're not appointing anybody until next meeting.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so let's start out with Common Grounds staff report. We're fully staffed. Center meeting got finished. Looks nice.
It
Lights.
looks really nice.
You might see somebody been parked underneath the tree for about 2 weeks. We've had a nice little mainline irrigation break directly underneath that tree. I don't know what's going to happen to that tree. We've had to cut a lot of roots out. It might go to shock, but it should be all right. That's been a pain. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Deep. But we got to fix today, so we're going to turn it back on tomorrow. We've had to adjust the schedule for the Common Grounds by a half hour for school because the elementary changed school hours. So, yeah, by a significant amount. It's like an hour, I want to say, roughly. And typically they got out at 3:30. So if they got out at 3:30, they get out at 3:15. It's just a mess. You know, I don't want anything like. So what I did is I bumped it back. They start at 6 now and get out at 3, which is cutting it close, but at least they can get out of there before any kids are getting out of school.
Good.
So we've had to make that adjustment. What else? Weymouth. I had Extreme Divers come out and work on Weymouth. I think I talked about this last meeting, actually. I think I wrote it up. I'll bring it up again. Because of the rain that we had over this past weekend, I was nervous. They came out. There's a problem at the end of this very first storm drain here when you enter the street. Going out to the lake there on 12. There's some cypress roots that are growing in between one of the joints with like the last 20 feet. And as they grow, they take up that mass. That mass takes up the volume of the pipe, and then you lose the ability to drain properly. But we've got it busted up enough to where when this water gets lower in the spring, at its lowest level, we'll go out there and replace those 3 pieces of pipe. So that's where we're at on that. So is Lancaster ready now for possibly doing the redesign portion of it? Has that been signed over? Like,
Well, no.
council, may I ask that?
No, it's not, no.
Okay.
That's correct. The first step is Mark getting a proposal, the board approving it, Mark Screw doing the survey work, we get that, then we prepare the deed, and then...
Still kind of down the road.
Okay, still, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I thought.
It's okay.
So to the golf course, shifting gears, we just got done verification. We're in the process of it, but one tine. So we went with a much smaller tine, smaller in diameter, same typical depth that we normally go, less intrusive. You want to be careful coming into fall, September. Weather's changing. Within 8 weeks, we're going to be, well, we should be, feeling some better weather. So the rain has been very intense, as we've mentioned several times already, this past week. I think there's more on the way, but knock on wood, no storms.
Storms keep going
Yes.
northeast.
And this is only anecdotal, but I was looking at some data the other day for like the last 10 years. They seem to always fall within the last 10 years on even years. So maybe next year is probably going to be, hope not, either way. We've had some issues with these e-bikes, all right?
Oh, yes.
There's been some issues with the ball field, there's been some damage.
The driving range.
Just been some damage here and there, but for sure on the ball field.
There's been a lot of chatter about it, I know that.
Listen, I can't, I'm gonna be honest with you, hold on, let me rephrase I didn't see it. It looks like some a motorized bike. I don't know what, you know what I mean? I can't say.
I think there were some witnesses, so.
But there was, yeah, you know, it's out in front of your home. So,
I didn't see it.
John, I will say that I went to the HOA meeting last week and brought that up. And Nicole, you can confirm, they have spoken with the sheriff, and unfortunately, because there's pedals, they're bikes, there's nothing they can do. They don't have to have a driver's license. They don't have to be of a certain age. It just comes, and I know that Nicole gave me some names, and we will send letters to these people. They also, as she gets people, as the HOA rep, they'll send them to us. It's very hard to, there's nothing the sheriff can do. And, you know, we talked about these bikes are on the golf course, and it's, they're technically trespassing, but we have no signs that say no trespassing. We just have those, you know, registered golfers only, no bikes, no, and I sent a picture of that sign to Tony. Could we put like a no trespassing sign on top of that, or?
Well, the difficulty is you need to place no trespassing signs every couple
5
hundred feet, that's the problem. But one
And then
aspect is, as you mentioned though, sending letters to the, if you can identify who those individuals were, send them a letter saying they're no longer authorized to be on the golf course in any form or fashion because of that entry. And then if they're seen, if they do show up, they will be considered as trespassing after warning. And I would talk with the sheriff's department about that, and say, would that be sufficient notice to say that if they are on there next time, then we see them, that you can charge them with trespass after warning because they've been warned not to come on the property with their bikes. It's unauthorized. That's probably about the only way you could do that.
I don't disagree with the procedure, but
It's kind of
how are
hard.
you going to identify anybody, really?
Right, and it is.
I think the letter's a good idea. I know a couple of parents that I know their kids have these bikes, and I was just going to talk to them. I have no idea if their kids are doing it or not, but I was just going to say, hey, you know, you might want to see what Junior's up to.
Yeah.
You know.
We all need to do that as
Yeah,
a
I mean,
community.
Yes,
And I'm not, again, I'm not saying
I've said the same
their
thing
kids
myself.
doing any of this stuff, but I think the biggest thing the community needs to realize, if one of these kids would go off on a green, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars of damage. And if that happens, and if we know who it is, they will get prosecuted.
And if we don't.
On one vote, but there's no, you can't let that, it's just too much money, not to mention it's people's living, you know, it's a disaster.
And when you get to that size of numbers, it's a felony.
Right, that too.
But again, I think it's important to send that message. At one of my other districts where an adult decided to go for a little joyride in the stormwater management system flowway because his truck was pretty nifty and neat, and he wanted to do a nice TikTok. $15,000 worth of damage to the flowway later. Yeah.
And also, there's a danger element, right? Especially at dark, you know, these kids, that's why I don't want to approach somebody and make somebody do something like get scared and run off into the road and they get hit by a car. Like, I feel like, I don't want that, you know, it's like, I'm not a cop, it's just, but I mean, be safe, you know, in these rocks and these ledges, I mean, we've had carts go off on 10, right, within daylight.
Right.
You know, so at night, you know, when it gets dusk, you know, or it gets, you know, sun goes down, you know, it's probably the best time to do it, nobody's really out there, you know, and
Well, I get concerned.
I can see why you're doing it, you know, at the same time you're a child, but just the safety element is what I think about, you know, I got two boys that love, you know, that kind of stuff, so.
Well, I think on 16, where they're going up there, they're going to head right into that lake with those rocks in the lake. And the other thing that the residents need to be fully aware of, if there is tens of thousands of damage done to the golf course after hours by these bikes, it comes from the general fund. And that is part of the fund that you pay in your taxes every year. That's the operation and maintenance. So that comes from the general fund. It does not come from the golf course fund. So the residents need to be aware, and if you know kids that are doing this, and there is damage, if we can identify them, fine. If not, it comes out of our pockets, not the golf course. So people need to be aware of that.
There are also kids coming in from outside of the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. so,
I saw 10 bikes come right
yeah,
in,
right
flying
through the
through.
front, yeah. So that's because we're porous for them to get in.
Yeah,
Doesn't redoing the median 3 times come from our pockets as well?
that's the landscape. Wasn't that the part of the landscaping? Yes.
It all comes from our pocket,
Yeah.
Yeah, one way or another.
one way or
But
the other,
yes.
except the golf course.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely.
So, all right, I guess we'll tell the kids to do whatever they want to do.
Okay. John, you can continue.
All right, so, what was it? Health insurance. This is kind of under the budget thing, but I finally got the quotes back from United Health, Florida Blue, and I forget this last one. And Health. I forget the other one that was in the quote, but basically, the company we're with now, Venture, we've had, like I said, in the past couple of meetings, we've had some issues with them starting out the gate. A lot of people signed up for life insurance, didn't get it. We've handled that issue, they've been reimbursed, but, for 6 months, people are thinking they have something they don't, Some other issues about, getting paid, having to pay out of pocket, and they get reimbursed, there's some issues there, I'm still, dealing with that. And with Florida Blue, they're about I think it was like $108 more a month than what we're currently paying. But it's a much better policy as far as coverage, out of pocket. There's 4 plans. We'll be offering the employees 4 different types of plans. I think the dental and vision was actually cheaper, but not, it's cheap anyway, regardless. I mean, dental and vision is not expensive. So, yeah, that's where.
When is open enrollment, October?
Yes, ma'am. As soon as, after this meeting, we'd have to decide, or
Okay.
we have to, pretty much have to decide tonight to get, for anybody,
Right.
because even with Ventura, it's a year to year.
You feel like it's going to be higher?
Yeah, it's about $100 more for the company a month overall, so it'd be like $1,200 more a year.
Okay.
And that number could change because we may not have the same amount of enrollees, right? We may have
Right.
less, and that's what it's looking like right now, to be honest with you. Having less enrollees than we did the past year.
Yeah, it was about tens of thousands.
No.
Yeah, that's
Okay. When they open enrollment, they will have someone that speaks
Yes,
Spanish?
ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought
Just wanna
that up.
make sure.
Yeah, I brought all that up with them.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, I'd like to make a motion for John to pursue the new medical for the staff, for both the maintenance and the pro shop.
Second it?
Any comments, Bill? Adam?
Yeah, so John, you mentioned it was going to cost a little bit more than $100 per employee for the district. How much more is this going to cost the employees?
Actually, so depending on the plan, because like I said, there's 4 different plans, but on average, the highest plan, we say the plan with the most comprehensive coverage, it was a PPO, was roughly like $20 more pay period, 22, I want to say.
So
Off the top of my head.
$100 a month, less than
No,
less than
yeah.
$100 a month.
Less than 100, yeah, overall, per month, so it'd be
Right.
$5 a pay period, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, not much. But insurance is going up regardless.
Oh, absolutely.
That's sure. So, and I didn't get, yeah, it did. Never mind.
Okay.
I thought I was thinking something else.
Well, John, I'd like you to continue to pursue it and get it started, and Kyle, can you work with it, because you have staff members that will need the insurance as well? And
Absolutely.
be part of it? Okay. All right.
That's all I got, really.
Okay.
There's something else about the common ground now. I needed to mention that.
Well, if you
Want to
think
call-
about it, you can raise
want to
your
call the question
hand.
on this subject? You made motion second, but nobody called the question.
Oh,
All in favor?
Did we need?
all in favor?
Did we need a motion on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right,
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Sorry. John, if you think of it, raise your
Yeah,
hand.
it's nothing major. It's just something I wanted to mention.
Okay, well, think about it, jot it down. Okay, thank you. Kyle?
Yeah, so,
Oh, wait, excuse me one second. John, you have all this
What's it, this-
landscaping?
Oh, that's what it was. It's right in front of me. So this is a
Then
proposal,
I could help you.
oh my God. This is a proposal for now to move it forward to the front of the community. This is to redo the fountain out in front of Duffy's. If you see the exhibits, all the maps that are highlighted, finishing the entryway, coming in on the right side, we actually own that little berm there in front of CVS. So that berm, across that intersection, the CVS intersection, on the right, we're still on the right-hand side, all the way that up to basically behind 1T where it turns. And then that's a different, from that point down to 9, that's a different lot. That's a different parcel. So that's where it would stop, right around that turn. And then from the guard shack exiting, where you have like that column, kind of where there used to be like a gate, right when you get next to the guard shack, that little strip, that little devil, we call it devil strip, all that saying, all you see there, that would be Bermuda. As you come into Duffy's, so now we're gonna turn right into Duffy's, to your right, immediate right, redoing that side, the foliage behind there, removing those green palms, putting some royal, keeping the thing going. There's a design in there, a map, a landscape plan.
John,
So if we're behind the, go
interrupt
ahead.
you for 1 second?
Please, go ahead.
Sharon, the last meeting you asked why they had removed all those palms, and you had left, and I didn't get back to you. They're old, and although they may have looked really good, they were old and they needed,
It's this time, yeah.
it was their time to go. So I just wanted to let you know,
And-
because you did bring that up at the last meeting. Go ahead, John.
And also too, we're not really at the time, like saving, we're redoing it. It's 30 years old, it's time to, and it takes a lot of effort and time to try to save everything, every shrub that it's just not, just tired, old and tired. So from behind the fountain, I know you don't see it in here, but there would be three royal palms behind. There's currently a Reclinata in the center, with lighting, with uplighting, and some Pelusias on that side, staged right below that with some cocoa plum, some jasmine minima in that second tier. You don't see any, we can't put anything there because anything in that second tier grows up this tall and it starts blocking the sign, the verbiage on the sign, the word. So we're putting some jasmine minima, that was what's proposed in here. Resodding all of that berm all the way basically from where the lake starts at the parking lot, all the way up to the sign and then around and down in. The reason we're doing that now is because if we were to do this, now would be the time. If not, I'd wait
Next spring.
next year, because that's traffic, there's a lot of traffic. This is gonna be the least amount of traffic we're gonna have.
Okay.
John, you think that'll cover up that floodlight that we've been talking about?
Oh, yeah, that's all gonna be that's gonna be redone, because the lighting's gonna change.
Good.
All the lighting's gonna change in there.
Okay.
Proposed.
Also, I wanna
That
ask you-
agave would be coming out, all that agave, old agave, that stuff would be all coming out. The bed would get structured more. The front of that bed is real abrupt, and there's a big splice box for FP&L that we can't do nothing about other than work around it,
Rapid things.
Oh, yeah, it's down the road, yes. Still going to work on that.
Yeah.
But he's talking about in the ground there, that box.
Yeah, and
But
then
we're
we
still
showed that
talking
there.
about possibly wrapping them. I have somebody working on
Yes.
stuff to wrap those utility boxes
Awesome.
out front.
Because I couldn't find anybody, to be honest with you. I asked Drew if he could do it, Morrison, he's like, I don't,
I have a friend from New Jersey that's doing it.
but I've seen them.
Yeah,
I've seen them, they look nice.
yeah.
So this is a proposal for that. This doesn't include the cost of sod, only the installation sod, just like the center median, just like the pool, because we get a better deal on sod, buying it wholesale, we'd save a few $1,000s. We'd need probably, I'd say an estimate, probably, where's the sod here? 105 pallets, 1,500 trucks. 7, probably looking about $25,000 in sod.
The section, as you turn right into the parking lot, to the right of the median.
Is that around the putting green?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shade there. You think that grass is gonna take under those trees?
So, no, well, that's part of in the removal process,
You gonna
then the first
thin
line.
those trees out?
Yeah, a lot of that's getting thinned out and cleaned out,
Okay.
yeah, a lot of the queen stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot
It's
of
going to
it,
be more open.
yeah.
Right, good.
All the, around the bag drop, That's gonna be taken out. It's gonna be smaller. It's gonna be about half the size, planted with cocoa plum instead of the old Awabuki that's currently there now.
Good, yeah, open that up.
Yeah, clean that up. And then obviously, like I said, the fountain, behind the fountain, there's a, excuse me, what do you call it, like a head wall, retaining wall, wood. It's completely dilapidated. They had two people come out, two separate contractors look at it, and it's a permitting issue. Because it has a footer, if you want to replace it, you gotta get a permit for it. So we discussed just regrading it, and then we'll put some like stone. Nobody sees this area. I mean, this is where like the lighting would be for behind the sign. There's already some collusia that we have planted around the pool, or around the fountain pumps, that already block most of it. So, to save a lot of money, each proposal was around $60,000. I was like, this isn't gonna, I'm not even
Not for something that
present
sees.
this, right, I can't.
If we can adjust it.
So we're just gonna regrade it out, smooth it out, and then put some stone down, or some 57 stone.
Good.
That's in this proposal, if it's approved, so.
Okay. So this is,
You need approval to start the project.
Actually, do we need to approve this, or is it, I mean, it's all part of our landscaping
It's
project?
just the next phase that we
yeah,
need to
next phase
approve.
of the,
Yeah.
Just have you approve it.
okay. I make a motion to approve this for Dorman to continue doing around the, which John just explained it
We're
around.
probably gonna need a not to exceed, because I gotta add
200?
the sod, okay.
Not to exceed 200.
What'd you say the sod would be?
About 40.
25?
About 20, yeah, somewhere between
Just
25
make it 200 total.
Okay.
30.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So it depends.
Opposed?
And for clarification, it's 200,000, not to exceed 200,000.
200,000, yes. I thought it was $200. All right.
That's it for me.
All right, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Kyle?
Yeah, so as far as staffing goes, we're all set. We're gearing up for season. We're doing pretty good as far as staffing goes. Probably not gonna have to hire anyone else for season either. As far as August revenue numbers go, last year we did about 107,000 through the pro shop and driving range. This year we're at 125,000, so we're about 16% up on August revenues for the golf course. Last meeting, I was telling you guys we're getting really close to the 4-up system switch. I was originally going to go live here on September 1st. We're about a week behind. Just some issues with the QuickBooks integration. Really not a big deal at all. But everything is well underway. So we're just going to be about a week. We'll probably go live halfway through September now.
So you'll have some real data for us at the next meeting.
Yep. Yeah, I should have, a full report on the system switch and all the integrations with that. Also at the last meeting I mentioned email domains, websites and stuff. That project came up a lot faster over the weekend. There was some snag with our email domain for the golf course had expired. We had worked through that whole situation. We've got all the domain stuff figured out. We have those new email chains set up and ready to go. So when we do our system switch, we're gonna switch over all of our email chains as far as like those email conventions like headpro@stonybrookofficero.com. When I set up those domains, I did put everything under the CDD's information and names, so there's no more issues moving forward with who controls or whatever, because that was like actually trying to get into someone else's bank account. Mrs. Suff, thank you for your help with that too. The mugshot was, I'm sure, not very fun.
They needed my picture and my driver's license,
Yeah,
and I was in the
that was
airport
a
coming back
whole
from New
thing.
Jersey.
And I appreciate Ms. Brady as well for helping with that, getting those old computers so I could dig into those files and get everything needed for that. But that is all set up and ready to go with that system switch. All those conventions are put into place. Really excited about that. You're going to have a whole new website design as well that comes with that. It's just sleeker, faster, and works with phones now. It's an issue we were having for a while there with booking tee times on your cell phone. All those issues should go away. It's what IT people and tech people tell you. But boy, am I learning the hard way on some of that stuff. Moving on to the driving range, we talked about last time.
Excuse me one second. So once we go live with 4UP, then we will sign the contract with Golf Now for 2 years for the limited service.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to have any situation where I didn't have like a active point of sale
No,
system,
you're
so I
right.
did have to overlap it.
And that's fine. That's,
And you'll have it in the agenda book a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
When Chuck sends the agenda meeting.
Yeah,
it'll
I
be in
have,
there.
I said we got a whole week behind on the project, but I have a meeting with Golf Now. Sean Roberts and the inventory specialist is meeting with me in my office on Thursday to make sure we get all the language correct, as I know the district and the board wants.
Thanks, Kyle, appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, and I might, Tony, I might give you a call or something, just to
Yep.
loop you in to make sure that language is correct.
I would appreciate that. It's always good work with that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And we're going to vote on that next meeting before you sign a contract?
Yep.
yes.
Yep, that'll all be in
Go through
front
all
of
of
you
it, and
guys.
Tony will have reviewed it.
Yep. I was talking about the driving range. I still plan on redoing all of the mats for the driving range here with the new budget as that gets passed. After talking with Phil Olive, we kind of decided we were going to split up the coverage project between the driving range and Duffy's patio and just kind of make those separate things because they are going to be coming out of separate budgets and such. So right now I really am going to be prioritizing the Duffy's patio coverage. That really does have a massive impact on our event business, and I'm looking to, elevate our event program and getting that covered.
We're not putting the tent back up.
No, we're no more tent. Hopefully we'll be able to repurpose that space for either more driving range, putting green, however we see fit in the future.
To that note, let me ask a quick question. Should I just leave the landscaping there for now, or do you want me to take it out? What are your guys' ideas for?
I like to take those shrubs down.
Yeah.
They don't serve a purpose, so
No, I think they just kind of get in the way. I would take it down and just open that all up.
I would like that as
let it
well.
breathe.
Yeah, I would like that as well.
Any way to repurpose the pavers, or there's someone that can salvage them?
Somebody definitely take them.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
But I
guess for now, just-
But then, it's gonna be more, I'd say for now, just leave them, because if we do that, then we gotta resod it, regrade it.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a more of an expense.
Let's just take the bushes out, leave the pavers
Leave it
for
open.
now, and then we can,
Talk to you about an idea later.
oh, okay.
I'm just maybe putting some chairs and a little umbrella table over there.
I think that's a
Let's
good
see what that
idea.
potentially
What about
is
that
for
fire
something.
pits then?
Yeah.
Yeah, have a little something, yeah.
For moms and dads, their kids are, practicing junior
I'll
golf.
even talk with Duffy's about maybe them.
Put a
taking
bar
charge
out
of
there?
that.
There's electricity out there, so we can put that fire pit.
Perfect.
Now, there's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that would be nice to have a
I'll
little.
talk with-
Yeah, let's use it.
I'll talk with Casey about setting up like a little fire pit station over there. I think that would add a lot.
That's a great idea, but yeah, get rid of the bushes. And this way parents can watch
Yep.
the kids, or whoever is at the driving range.
Yeah, I like that.
I got occasional ideas.
I know, I'm so thrilled.
That does it for my report today.
Kyle, can we start getting the Wednesday updates as well?
Yeah, I do apologize for that too. I've been just swamped with the 4UP system swap. Absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because those are really good.
Yeah, I
But with
apologize.
all that's been going on,
Yeah, it's
quite
been-
honestly, I even forgot we got them.
Yeah, I've been quite busy with all this.
We've all been busy the last month.
Kyle, did you see my email about that?
I saw
Report.
that. I did see that this morning. That was the first time I've seen it. There might have been something that got stuck in like my spam folder or something. I should be able to fill that. I looked through it this
So
morning.
you don't need anything?
It doesn't look like, it's like literally just like payroll data, so I should be able to fill that out with Crosby.
Oh, it's
over
the,
week here.
OEWS report?
It was like some government survey?
Yeah, it's the payroll.
Yeah, it was a payroll
Payroll
survey.
report, yeah.
It's a governmental report, right?
Need to get it together.
Occupational Employment and Wage Statistics Report.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw it was today. I'll make sure.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you obviously were aware, or if you needed anything.
Yeah, no, appreciate it.
Okay.
Good.
Yep, that's all I got.
Very good.
Madam Chairwoman, I think we have a hard stop.
Yes, we do have a hard stop.
The HOA managers.
I'm sorry?
Hard stop at 7:30.
What time is the hard stop?
Well, I have, Nicole needs to be out here by 7:30, so we just wanted to go through that issue now. Tony, do you want to?
Yeah, I think is she here? Oh, there she is.
Nicole, she's in the back there.
Yeah, I guess this is more, this is, if Nicole, just to get some facts on the record, based upon Nicole, the first-hand information, as I understand it, there was an email that was received by a resident who indicated that there was a investigator from the Division of Workers' Compensation or Department of Financial Services that wanted to come in to the district last week, but apparently was not allowed in, and the email that stated that the woman told the access control people not to let this person in.
Right.
And can, Nicole, if you can relate what happened?
So it was back in July. I got a phone call from the security guard stating that they had a state officer here from Workers' Comp that wanted to come in. First time as being the CAM here that I got a phone call like that. So I asked them if they could circle around so I could call my boss, which was the board president. So that's what she did. I did get her cell phone number. I called her directly first.
Her being
The state officer.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. And she was very nice on the phone. She said it was fine. She says, oh, you can't deny me entry. And I told her, oh, I understand that. I was like, if you just give me 2 minutes. She goes, yeah, sure. She goes, I'll circle around. So I called Dennis O'Donnell, and he told me this, pretty much the same thing. Well, just let her in, call the CDD and just advise him that there is a state officer here. That's what I did. I called her first. She didn't answer, the state officer. And I did leave her a message just to circle around that the guard was advised that to let her into the property. And then I did call Eileen, and I told her the situation, that I had already spoken to Dennis, and that she was going to be let in. I did give Eileen her number and her information also, and I called her back again, the state officer, because she had never called me back. She never answered again. The guard, I did call him, and he told me she never circled back around. She's never come back, she's never returned my calls, and that's it.
Is it the only time that there was a state officer?
That, yes, and I did advise the gatehouse of the situation. If there was another state officer that did come through, they were to be let in, and just to let me know if they had come. But I haven't gotten any phone calls from them.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you, Nicole.
you're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
Thanks.
Okay. We can go on to the other stuff. I just need to get Nicole out. Thank you. Okay, Phil Simonson.
He wanted me to talk about that real quick.
Okay.
Just give an update because he's not here.
Right.
So obviously Mark mentioned how that meeting went well with the Village of Esteros, possibly getting the permitting to, just do away with the retaining walls and then remove some trees while planting some other trees somewhere else per their request or per their requirement. Also with Gordy Lewis, he's going to be coming to a meeting here, I believe we agreed in September, our next meeting. He's going to talk, just speak. We're past the greens phase, design, drainage, irrigation, and we're moving on to tees. We brought in an irrigation consultant who's going to be helping with that process, designing the irrigation system.
What was his name again?
Dave Reagan.
Thank you.
With Reagan Technologies. And on that note, side note, so that's where we're at with that moving forward. And Gordy's going to come in and answer any questions. I know not a lot of people can, read topography. Some of that stuff it's just so much going on. It's hard to see. But he'll be in next month to talk and answer anybody's questions. So feel free to come out. I remember, and there's another thing I also remember on the irrigation. So we're going to be doing an irrigation audit. I was in contact with Dave Reagan on the community because basically right now the way it is any water that's not accounted for basically has to get paid some way, somehow, and it's pretty much left up to the golf course to pay it. And so, upon realizing this, we're going to do an audit on all the common grounds areas, on how much total volume they run on a certain night, just on a given night, and then we'll use that as our base to, multiply days, weeks, whatever you need, to get the billing more in tune with where it should be. I noticed I got the formula, thank you Chuck, from the building department, and one of the things I noticed is, about 6 to 8 months back, if you remember Port Rush, we were having an issue where one of our areas that we irrigate goes through their meter, which is fine. We figured it out, we shut off the water, we measured it, we agreed on a base, and how much, it was 120,000 gallons a month, we're gonna take off their bill. But what's happening is I noticed that when I was looking at the formula, that 120 that they're taking off their bill, they're putting back on, right, to get paid. But that water has already went through the pump house, which is the read that they're using, that's the main read. So you take month to month of the pump house, right, and you subtract, and that's your total usage. Well, they're throwing it back on there. And you can't do that, because that number's already been read through the pumps, right? So every gallon goes through the pumps that any resident uses, it doesn't matter. It gets read through the pump house. So we're gonna have a more comprehensive idea of what's going on and what needs to be done. And, probably start next meeting, I'm meeting with the gentleman that's supposed to be doing the audit is not Dave Reagan, it's another irrigation guy here. He's local here in Estero. We're meeting tomorrow just to kind of go over things. He's gonna give us a proposal, so. Yeah, that's where, and then Braxfield, residents of Braxfield. I had a gentleman come out and give us a quote to clean, pressure wash and repaint that wall along there, because it needs it pretty bad. And I haven't seen that quote.
Okay.
And they said they'd get it to me in a couple of days, so I feel like something's up. I haven't heard back from anybody, but that's just where we're at. That's where we're at with that. Yeah, that wasn't that high on my list,
Yes.
but I called several places, and one of them they didn't want the business, and then so that's just a base I was going to use to go off of and start that process.
Okay.
Doing that.
Sounds good.
Okay, and that's where we're at the golf course.
Okay, very good. Phil, update on Duffy's?
Yeah, so I spoke with Kyle, our golf pro, a couple of weeks ago? Talking, some more discussion about the patio and covering the patio. And he needs it for events, and he's got to do his planning. So I thought we would have a discussion about approving to move forward with Coastal Canvas. I spoke to them, they're ready to go whenever we're ready to go. He said it'd be a 6 to 8 week process from start to finish.